Hey everyone, I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, and today we're here with Sergej Kotliar. Hopefully, I pronounced that correctly. He's the CEO of Bitrefill, and we're going to be diving into everything that they're about. It's been a huge proponent for fiat-free May, and I think this is perfect timing to get this interview in just before the end of May. Thank you so much for being here, and would you like to just start off by sharing a little bit about yourself?
Thanks for having me on, and thanks for everything you're doing with living fiat free. I think that's very important. About myself, I don't know. I'm an engineering type originally. Done a couple of previous startups, but not in the crypto space. Bitrefill started originally as an experiment that kind of grew, I guess, as the market demanded things from us. We've kind of grown by following what our customers want, and I think it's one of the things that I guess explains how Bitrefill got to where we are and so on, and how we generally reason. Like, we try to build things that people want and that they're willing to pay for.
Yeah, I mean that's the simplest way to get things done, right? Just do what the people like. So, how did you originally get into cryptocurrency and blockchain technology?
Well, there was a long time ago. I heard about it. I think during the Slashdot times and so on, and but I was busy with a startup at the time, and so I didn't really go down the rabbit hole. And then after that startup, I did another thing that didn't go so well, and then I was in this in between period, and this was like mid 2013, and cryptos or Bitcoin then was starting to take off, and I kind of landed in watching Andreas Antonopoulos videos and went down the rabbit hole. And I think a big influence for me has always been paying attention to the what do you call them? The dirty voices, the trolls, the anonymous accounts, and all of that that is here in crypto, because I think that it is important, because unlike the regular system, they are a key player, and that's kind of the beauty of it, is that this is this is a field where regulated American financial services companies interact with like two dudes from Romania have unspecified anger towards one or the other thing, and like that's kind of the beauty of it, that the system works in that it manages to establish. It doesn't establish trust. It manages to be functional in a trustworthy way without them trusting each other, which is, I think, still the coolest part about it.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the major proponents or values behind blockchain for sure. So, can you give a brief introduction for people who don't know what Bitrefill is? Just a brief introduction so that they know why it's so important for fiat-free May and being able to live fiat-free.
Right. So there's a lot of things. Why it's important to live fiat-free? I mean, in simplest terms, we can't go around saying we're building a better financial system and then be entirely dependent on banks, right? And the regulated exchanges are entirely dependent on banks, and they can disappear overnight if their bank decides that they should do so, or if their country's regulator decides that they should do so. And that has happened a bunch of times in all kinds of countries, and not just the Venezuelas and Zimbabwe's, also in like more democratic countries like India and so on. So I think that, but also that, like, a lot of the benefits of cryptocurrency, whichever approach you have to it, the benefits only really start to materialize once there is a circular economy within crypto. Right? If you always need to, use an exchange on, and then you do your crypto thing or whatever it is, and then you use an exchange off, then you usually just replace one middleman with 2 or 3 or maybe even more middlemen, and they all want a fee, and they all restrict you in different ways and so on. And so, like, what we're trying to achieve is to achieve a circular economy in which people live on crypto, and that means that they should have their incomes in crypto and their expenses in crypto, and both with regards to companies and also with each other. And so what Bitrefill does is that we try to let you buy anything you want with crypto, and we do this by using gift card infrastructure. So if you're, for example, in Canada, we have a pretty decent inventory of products now. And so if you want to shop something online, you can go on Bitrefill, select that brand, select that particular amount that you have in your shopping carts. You can generate a gift code. You can copy paste that gift code into the site, and then you get your thing. And then you bought it with Bitcoin or with the crypto you're choosing. And the benefit is that you're not going through any exchange to do this. This allows for a greater privacy. It has price benefits. It has convenience benefits because it's easier. It's faster. I think we have a contest now on the website for who can do a refill the fastest. Like the record is 21 seconds. So it's an easier way for people that live on crypto to buy whatever it is that they want to buy.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I've been personally using it for the past month, and I found, it's been really easy. It's been really quick. And yeah, it's really helped me allow, like, I earn a lot of crypto from social media applications on like different blockchain crypto monetized social platforms. And then as I've been getting more and more, I've wanted to cover certain expenses with that income and really, live the fiat free way. So Bitrefill has really helped me do that, paying for Uber, any Amazon purchases. Not that I have yet, but if I wanted to buy a game or something with Steam, that's also covered. You guys really cover a lot of the different things that people would want to buy. You've even got like Walmart. A good example, Joel Valenzuela, who I interviewed about being fiat free and unbanked. He talked about using Walmart gift cards to pay for bills with Walmart Pay. So there's a ton of different things that you can do with Bitrefill, and I think it's really cool to find different creative solutions. And I think it's very, very empowering for people to be able to live unbanked and off crypto. And I think you guys are doing an amazing, amazing thing. So what was like the main problem that you set out to solve with Bitrefill? Did you find that there really wasn't anyone else doing this? Like, what was the main problem that you were trying to solve?
Well, so in the beginning, Bitrefill was focusing on refills of prepaid phones. And so for Westerners, prepaid phones is something that children or tourists or immigrants or poor people or so on have. But on a global scale, prepaid is the default way that phone works. And globally, there is some 5 billion with a B people on the planet with a prepaid phone. It's literally more people than have a toothbrush. And so what we were and still are doing is to allow conversions of crypto into refills of prepaid phones. And so the original motivation is enablement, because in a lot of countries it was, and in some countries still is, that this is the only thing you can buy with crypto. And like what kind of I think that was an older slogan, but like what kind of shit internet money is it we have here if you can't even buy stuff with it, right? And that was like one thing that is sufficiently similar everywhere, not everywhere, but like in many parts of the world. And we were able to get access to infrastructure to deliver that, and so that became an easy thing. And I think enablement has always been our priority. Like we still constantly work on sourcing new products, opening up in new countries, We've had good traction with the gift cards in the past couple of years, so now we do a lot more with the gift card stuff. And yeah, we go a little bit country by country when we find a good opportunity or notice that there's good demand. When we're seeing that people are actually living on crypto and getting feedback from people like yourself about which parts are missing. Our goal is for as many people as possible to be able to live off of us as much as possible. I mean, that's the visionary goal. And yeah, that means that we should have as many products as possible, as broad products as possible in as many countries as possible. There's also, I noticed, a very sometimes US-centric approach in the crypto space, that people kind of focus on the US, which is strange because there's 50 states and they have different laws, and for us, we try to go as broadly and globally as possible. But it's not always the case, because some chains are only some countries and so.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, when I was on there, I noticed you guys had a lot of different cards for different countries. So that's definitely good that you guys are really trying to help everyone, not just, focus on one demographic. So, how have you and your company been affected or impacted by the virus? Has this changed anything in development? Is everything still going, on as usual? What does that look like right now?
Well, we've been mostly remote, and we went from mostly remote to fully remote.
Yeah.
We have a nice new office that is now staying empty. But other than that, most of the team is remote and has always been. So for them, it's no change. In terms of we're seeing crypto on the rise right now, which means that not just our metrics are good, everybody's metrics are good.
Yeah.
And it's easier, everything is easier when the price goes up. People are a little bit richer, they're more eager to spend their coins. And so we haven't been negatively affected like there was in March, the fear, if you remember, the Black Thursday and all of that. We had a slight dent in our figures, but other than that, not so much. The travel gift cards kind of declined, but the gaming gift cards increased, so it
Mm.
kind of evened out in a
Yeah.
somewhat poetic way that I think is a coincidence. But the decline in travel matches almost to the dollar the increase in gaming.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, that's funny. Um, so how did Bitrefill get its name? What was the idea behind creating that name for the company?
Well, I was working with phone refills, and at the time, adding a bit something to the name was all the rage. So I think that the more interesting is the question is why we haven't really changed it. And I kind of think that in this space, trust is very important, and brand reputation is a big part of trust. And so we have built up a certain trust over time as we had more products, and we still keep all of the old products and the phone refills very well functioning and very popular in a lot of parts of the world. So yeah, and there is something like refill. There is you refill a balance. There's the circularity to it. I like
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. I guess that makes sense how it was sort of built around the phone refills. Yeah, that was kind of your original business. So yeah, and I mean, it still makes sense to me because you're just refilling your balance as you go and
Yeah.
just topping it up. And yeah. Um, so what are some of the next big updates or things you guys have in the works right now?
Ooh. Well, I guess. Yeah, reward system is something that is coming up. Something that people have asked us for, and you should look out for that as the
Okay.
next bigger customer facing things. We're looking into ways for What else? I mean, there's a bunch of new products in countries. Always, like there's always, 2 or 3 countries that are in the pipeline for new products and services. We're going to do some more stuff with the US dollar.
Okay.
Fun enough, we're gonna see if there is interest in having dollar-denominated accounts. We recently launched our own gift card, the Bitrefill Balance Card, which lets you. It's like a gift card for anything on Bitrefill, but it's denominated in USDs. This means that you can, if you're thinking that maybe I should sell some coins and buy some gift cards, but I don't know what I should buy, then you can get one of those, and then you can at a later time, then you lock in your value, right? Or you can give it away as a gift. Right, so like just a gift card for anything, almost, and so yeah, that's the recent thing, and we're iterating on right now to further sort of a big goal for us is to support the people that live on crypto, so that group grows, right, because it's it's a catch-22. If you can live on crypto, then more people will, right, and so on. But there's a bit of like the circularity in that as well. There's you need to have some way of earning and some way of spending, and so we've so far chosen not to do the earning stuff ourselves, but work closely with other companies and entities that have earning. And so I'm, like you mentioned in the beginning, about different schemes and apps that you have that you were earning coins from. So I'm like, I'm taking notes here. Like if you wanna, I'm sure you already talked about it on the podcast. But
Yeah, sure. I
if you
mean, I
want to talk
can.
about some of the best ones, maybe your audience also is curious.
Yeah. And just to note what you were saying, I think having the Bitrefill card that you can sort of buy anything with is really, really useful for people who want to have like get their money out of Bitcoin if it's say really, really high and they want to take advantage of that.
Right.
I think that is a perfect way for people to keep their store of value. So it's really good that you guys are providing that. Just before I get into that. Um, do you see Bitrefill cards ever becoming sort of like a prepaid Visa style card where you could just spend it anywhere? Do you ever see that as being a potential for the future, or are you mainly just focused on like the gift card solution?
I think it will eventually happen. We keep getting requests for it. It's the prepaid debit cards that would put us in financial services territory, right? So then you need to go through account verification and all of that, which is probably fine, but it's sort of like an area that we so far haven't ventured into. But definitely something that we're looking into. There's also the question of, again, like we like to do things that we can roll out globally, and these things tend to be not so global, and
Yeah.
so it's like, and then we need to go country by country. There's a lot of countries,
Yeah.
right?
I assume there's a lot of red tape around that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and that's kind of the beauty of the gift card approach, is that it's a lot less red tape, and this is why you can, from arriving to the website until leaving the website, it can happen in 20 seconds and you're done, right? And you can't really do that if you're going to do financial services. You need to go through verification, upload a selfie, and
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So I mean, that is sort of, if you're going to be part of that system, you need to play by the rules of that system, and that comes at certain costs. And at the same time, there's also other actors. So we'll see. We're looking closely at it. I'm not making any guarantees either way. But
Okay.
we do appreciate requests, on the support email and whatnot, and everything that comes in, gets passed to the business development team, and I mean, we usually say that one request is no request, but like two requests, then it's a movement, right? Yeah, listeners, don't be shy to request stuff. Like we make no promises, but we try to accommodate, and it also helps. Like if we approach a brand and say, hey, we have this many thousands of people that have requested specifically this thing.
Mm.
It makes the pitch better for us as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so in terms of like ways that I've earned and then been able to use that to spend on Bitrefill, some great ways that I'll list off for people to do this at home. Check out Brave browser. You can earn cryptocurrency for allowing ads where it by default removes ads. I typically earn anywhere between $10 to $15 a month just from that. And then, you could buy like a meal or something with a Bitrefill card. So that's pretty cool. And then in terms of how I earn mostly is from different crypto monetized social media platforms. And some of the big earners are like PublishOX, Hive, Library is really on the rise right now. A lot of people are using LBRY library, and it's like a video hosting application, and tons of people are using it right now. Tons of crypto is being earned on there, so that's been a huge proponent for me, and I think a lot of people can really benefit from sharing videos on there and stuff, and even watching videos you can earn. And then at any point you can just take your crypto out and then go and spend it on some Bitrefill and get whatever you want to do. And I'm probably making a pretty decent amount on just library where I'm making like maybe like $20 or $30 a day. So
Wow,
it's very, very
that's
lucrative. I
livable.
mean,
Like,
yeah, yeah, I mean, not everyone obviously is going to make that. But it's pretty amazing what you can do. And you could buy a Bitrefill card every day if you wanted, and that could support, your food every day, or whatever you happen to buy, groceries at Walmart, whatever you end up buying, Bitrefill could probably cover most of it. And if you can earn that, then that makes it even easier. I think the best part about being able to earn the crypto and then spend it all in crypto is it just feels like much more freeing that I'm not having to rely on any financial institutions. And I'm still able to afford my lifestyle and be able to cover everything. And there's no like hiccups between a lot of different things. So yeah, it's really, really empowering to know how much easier it really is than I thought it would be. Really diving into this at the beginning of this month for free fiat free May. And I think a lot of other people will be surprised too once they try it, how easy it is. You don't have to really trust it that much because it's pretty seamless. I've had no issues whatsoever, never had to contact support or anything like that. So yeah, I've had a really good time with Bitrefill, and I think a lot of people who follow me on different social platforms who do earn could really take advantage of this as well. So I really appreciate that service. Um, do you use any of those, by the way? Like, do you take advantage of Brave or use any of those applications?
I don't actually. I try to sign up to many of these things. I'm not a big publisher. Otherwise,
Mm.
I participate in pods and interviews when I get invited. But other than that, I'm kind of busy with the company.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
to build a media audience. But it's super curious, and it's very curious which services are popular where and what kinds of people. And I've actually been on the lookout for I guess like influencing. Getting rewarded in crypto because it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Um,
So earlier you mentioned rewards. I want to just quickly touch on that again. Do you mean like a loyalty program, or what exactly would that look like?
Yeah, so you'll get a percentage for your next purchase, right? So
Okay.
It will reward those who use us a lot.
Okay, awesome.
Basically.
And would that be like with individual buys, or would that just be like your overall account spending on Bitrefill, and then you would get some for your next Bitrefill purchase for any card kind of thing?
Yeah, I guess the latter. But there will be
Okay.
different, certain percentages for certain products, but
Mm,
something for everything. So and then we'll see. Like everything, we evaluate whatever we do, and if we see that it's doing well, then we do more of it, and if it's not, then we do less of it and do more of something else, right? So if we see that people are using it and that there's that they end up using us more, then that's yeah, that's what we're looking for. And if for us, I'd rather, I guess it goes for all companies, but especially in crypto, like I would rather, like, the marketing budget that we have, I rather use it to give out money and rewards and of different kinds to our customers, right, than to pay it to Google and Facebook. So,
yeah.
uh, like all things being equal, this is a much better way, and it's also something that people sometimes ask for discounts and things like that, and the goal is to land into kind of a natural place where the most loyal customers get rewarded for that.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that is a great way to incentivize people to use it. I mean, on top of all the benefits you already offer, now people will also have that, that sale-esque mindset when they go to buy it, where it's like, oh, I didn't know if I really wanted it, but the fact that, it's also at a discount, it's like you guys are making such a great value proposition that it I really expect that a lot of people will take advantage of that, and I'd be surprised if they didn't. So, do you see any other companies in the space doing something similar? Do you feel that you guys are kind of the, unique solution right now? What does that look like for like competition?
Well, it's a good question. I think for almost everything that we do, there is somebody else who does that. But I think that there's nobody that has the same sort of configuration of products and the direction. Like we aim to be the one-stop shop for everybody in the world for living on crypto, and that's kind of our approach to it. In a lot of ways, like when we ask our customers, like a lot of them will ask them, like, if Bitrefill wasn't around for you to make this purchase, like, what would you have done instead? And like a big chunk of them say that nothing, this particular transaction would not have happened
Mm,
if it wasn't for Bitrefill. So to a large extent, our competition is either nothing at all, or it's selling coins on an exchange and then going shopping in the old-fashioned world, which is also only sort of this works well in Western countries where payment cards work well for e-commerce and so on. It doesn't work as well in more emerging countries where their credit and debit cards are not to be trusted online.
mm,
But I would say those things are like our biggest competition, and then there are other companies that will let you buy gift codes. There's other companies that will let you shop on Amazon. There's other companies that will prepaid debit cards, and it's all they're all trying to solve parts of the same problem. But yeah, I'm not so worried about competition right now. It's still such a tiny space that I'd rather have it grow into a meaningful size, and then we can fight to the death. But right now, first let's build it and make sure that there is something to fight over, because that's not at all given at this point. And I think that if somebody else figures out something that works well, then we'll gladly copy it, same way that we see other people copying things that we do, and that's the circle of life. And I think that over time, the winning factor is going to be the trusted brand that we have, and that we hopefully will sustain.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I haven't really found any other companies. I have like just when I did a preliminary search, I saw a few places that like mentioned stuff about gift cards, but I didn't really see any like really great solutions. And I haven't really like heard of any from anyone else. So yeah, there isn't a lot of other solutions in this space. So you guys are definitely pretty unique in what you do. And I think what you mentioned with not being able to trust debit and credit cards online in certain emerging countries. I think that's a really, really key point for people to make note of because um, when you get a gift card, you're not putting yourself at risk versus putting up your debit or credit card. So I think that's actually a really, really key point to make note of for people watching is that if you're just taking your money and then putting it into a small amount into a gift card and you're using, a website that you might not fully trust, this is much, much safer creating that gap between your money
Yeah.
and I think this is a much,
It's
much
safer
safer
for
way
the
to do
merchant
it.
as well.
Exactly, right? So even crypto aside, this is just a more secure way to spend money. So I think that is really, really important for people to take note of, and it just really highlights how important this can be going forward for people, crypto and otherwise. So what are if you could have any crypto influencer join the program, who would you choose?
Oof. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's a long list. I don't
I
know.
mean,
I
you
think
mentioned
Andreas Antonopoulos, I guess, since I mentioned him before, I still remain a fan of his high level talking on the subject. But there's so many cool people in the space, and they're doing good things, and especially the ones like Joel who are living in crypto, and yourself. I think that in a lot of ways, I think that getting useful in terms of like for the audience and so on, getting useful tips is maybe worth more than a good pep talk. So I think that practical tips on how to live on crypto, how to get paid in crypto, how to buy stuff with crypto. I think that's what is needed. And so I think what you're doing, not to suck up or anything, but it is hugely important. And like there are people listening to this who will go on the sites that you mentioned and and then venture out into the living in crypto ecosystem.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's super important for people who have followings and participate in the crypto like social space to really bring these things to light because these solutions can really help a lot of people um and a lot of people are unaware of these solutions. So I think it's important to have these discussions and help people figure out new opportunities that they can take advantage of in the crypto space and otherwise. So where can people go to learn more about this company, Bitrefill?
Bitrefill.com is the website. From there, there's links to our Twitter, which is Bitrefill, and our Facebook, which is Bitrefill. And there's a Telegram, which is Bitrefill. And there's a pretty vibrant community on Telegram as well. And we have a couple of nowadays local communities as well for India and for Spanish-speaking world and for China and some other places. So definitely engage with us on Telegram or on Twitter or on Facebook. And yeah, we try to engage with customers, and given that we service the whole world, many customers are different from us. So it's the more important for us to be present and interactive and so on. So I think you'll find that we're quite open and friendly on most channels.
Awesome, awesome. I just have a few more questions before we end this off. So, for people who are concerned about KYC, about privacy, different things like that, what can they expect with Bitrefill? Like, what information is being collected, and how would that affect their experience?
Well, I mean, we collect very little personal information, and we mm, do our best to enforce the limits that we have on the site in terms of how much you can spend without having an account and so on. Um, Other than that, we ask for an email address. That's something that some people don't like, but it's mainly so that we can contact you in case something goes wrong.
Mm.
And we definitely allow people to type in, single-use email addresses and stuff like that. So uh, that's okay. And other than that, yeah, that's the kind of stuff that we track. If you want a bigger account that doesn't have limits, then you have to go through account verification. But for most of our customers, that's not required. And for people just buying the one-off codes here and there, that's not required. And so yeah, I hope that answers your question. Like
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. And then the last one I had was, where do you see the company going in the next year, and then ideally in the next 5 years? I know it's a long stretch of time. So we'll just say in the most ideal circumstances, let's assume the virus goes away by the end of the year and things are back to normal.
Well, I think a year from now we're going to be similar to what we are now, but a lot better and bigger. Um, I think 5 years from now, like our goal is that I mean, look, today there is tens of millions of people that hold some amount of crypto, right? But there's not that many people that live in a circular crypto economy in any extent.
Yeah.
It's maybe on the order of hundreds of thousands of people. So there's like two orders of magnitude. And so I look forward to that shift happening, and when crypto goes up a little bit and many of these people suddenly in the market to buying some stuff with their coins. Um, but that should be faster than 5 years. Like 5 years from now, I expect us to be at I guess this the Skype phase where internet money is like internet calling, like we're doing now, something that everybody does to some extent. That's available as a tool that is easy to use. There's easy ways of getting the coins, for using the coins, and so on. I think that we're going to see a lot of displacement of things like remittances, for example, with things like, I mean, you can already buy a gift card from Canada for Mexico, and you can send it in a text message to your aunt back home, right? And she can go with that gift code and buy stuff. And is that a remittance or
Yeah.
not? It's a philosophical question at this point, because it's a transaction that happens in the cloud, right? Same as the call that we're on is a long distance call, but is it a long distance call? I don't know, right? We don't think about it anymore. And so I kind of look forward to crypto becoming that, something that you don't think about, something that is a tool, something where most people don't they shouldn't need to care about it if they don't want to care about it. Same way that you and I are, we're not having a discussion of whether Skype or Hangouts and which one is the best, and you're a Hangouts maximalist, and strong opinions on whether it's better if it's in the browser or not. Like we don't care. We just use the thing, right? And a lot of
Yeah.
people with crypto is like that as well. Most of them are like that. They don't mega care about all this infighting and discussions and debate. They found a tool, like, hey, I can earn a buck here and I can spend a buck here. This is good. Like this, and it gives me opportunity, right? And so I look forward to seeing that. And I think 5 years from now, definitely we should see that being a normal part of the internet, something that everybody does and participates in. And I kind of look forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think it'll get a little or hopefully it'll get less political between the maximalists, but for every different crypto, and we can come to a more collaborative standpoint. So that's everything I have. I really appreciate you coming on and doing this. Everyone watching, this has been Bitrefill, so make sure to go and check that out, bitrefill.com, and that's where you can buy gift cards with crypto and really embrace fiat-free living. And this has been great because this is for Fiat-Free May, which is the challenge for people to try to live off of crypto and just means outside of regular fiat currency. So again, thank you so much for coming on and doing this.
Thank you so much, Scott.
Thanks so much for watching up to this point. Since you did, it would be awesome if you could give this video a like, and if you could comment down below #1ham. That way I know that you watched the full video. Also, it would be great if you guys could follow me, subscribe to my channel. You can follow me and find me everywhere under @ScottCBusiness. And also, sharing this video makes a huge impact. If you'd like to support me more directly, you can donate to scottcbusiness.crypto or scottcbusiness.eth. And that covers a lot of my main addresses for Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ripple. As always, I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, signing off. Cheers.